you are the man. How can I possibly be the man when you're the man? With 55 home runs each, they're both the man. Sammy Sosa continues his onslaught of the record tonight in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. The man, he is battling to catch Roger Maris, is right here on Fox Sports Midwest tonight. He will face Levon Hernandez. Earlier this year, he left Levon far behind. Fox Sports Midwest presents Cardinals Baseball, brought to you by Budweiser. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Southwestern Bell, go wireless with someone you know. By Pizza Hut, home of America's favorite pan pizza. By your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer, exclusive automotive dealer of the Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. By Discover Card, the card that pays you back. By Southwest Airlines, with fares so low you have the freedom to go places. Fly Southwest, the official airline of the Cardinals. Coming up next, you know the story. It's all about Mark McGwire. He'll try it again tonight against the Marlins, looking for number 56 and more. Live from Pro Players Stadium in South Florida, it is time for Major League Baseball as the Cardinals take on the Florida Marlins. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Ramsey alongside my partner, Al Raboski. And the story is the story. It's all about Mark McGwire and now Sammy Sosa. And that is our Chrysler Plymouth key matchup tonight, Al Raboski. These two guys, not quite head-to-head, but almost. They'll meet again in St. Louis, and they're just going to go right down to the wire, I bet.
Well, it should be a lot of fun, and a lot of people are wondering, how will Sosa respond? McGwire's had all the pressure on him, leading the pack, being the anointed one, the one that's supposed to break the record. But if Sosa were to jump out ahead, how would Sammy Sosa, deal with the pressure of the media on a day-to-day basis? But anyway,
we may find out.
Yeah, and McGwire has a nice advantage because he has more home games, and he is just on a pace where he hits a home run every 2 games at home.
Let's take a look at our Southwest Airlines starting lineup. And as we do, we've got the Shields, Jordan McGwire, Langford, Gant, Tatis, Polanco back in there at shortstop. Matt Morris on the mound, and Eli Marrero hits in the number 9 hole, what is considered the regular lineup, I guess, these days. That's who the Cardinals will throw at the Marlins. And here's the Marlins defense. They come back with their current crop of regulars, Floyd, Dunwoody, Kotze, Ori from the Cubs, Gonzalez is up from the minors, Castillo as well, Derek Lee's on, and Levon Hernandez.
Well, you see the 10-10 record. He's kind of struggled since the All-Star break, and he's allowed a lot of home runs.
And there's the first pitch of the ball game as Delino Shields leads it off. Delino continues his fine season as he stands in hitting .302, a .385 on-base percentage. Chops it out onto the infield grass, and Hernandez makes it look easy. 1 away.
Well, Hernandez is either first or second in the National League and allowing 29 home runs. So he's going to go right after the Cardinals, and in particular, Mark McGwire. Leads the club with 143 strikeouts, a lot of innings pitched, and he does have 8 complete games. Only Curt Schilling of the Philadelphia Phillies has thrown more pitches this season than Levon Hernandez.
Brian Jordan in the 2 hole tonight against the right-hander. Brian has had some fine success against the Marlins, hitting .533 against Florida this year. .533. You saw his season stats overall, and they're fine as well. Got 2 RBIs last night for 80. 23 home runs.
Obviously, we heard about who, but somebody's got credential and they act like they know what they're doing. Let them in,
That just missed. 3-0. In case you're wondering who will be calling the balls and strikes, it seems more important in the McGwire-Sosa watch. There's a called strike on the inside. That is Bill Hahn behind the plate. 3 balls and a strike to Brian Jordan. And Jordan, a 5-pitch walk, gets on in front of McGwire, and here it all starts. McGwire and Sosa with 55. Mark comes in, did not get a hit last night, had a couple of walks. He's trying to tie Hack Wilson for the all-time National League season record of 56. That was set in 1930, and we'll see if Mark can do it tonight here in Florida.
And, of course, the last 2 times these guys have matched up, Remember the Band-Aid at the Post-Dispatch sign in center field?
Yes, I do.
That was courtesy of Livan Hernandez. So Mark McGwire 1 for 2, and that one hit was that monster blast, 545 feet off of Hernandez at Busch Stadium.
Neat sign for the love of the game. Brought some fans back, especially here in Florida. 2-0. Remember last year in August when McGwire came here.
His first game here at Pro Player Stadium, became the first player to hit 2 up into the upper deck.
2 balls, no strikes. High fly ball. Dunwoody has a beat on it. McGwire just missed. Todd Dunwoody in center field. That was a major league fly ball. The crowd cheered, but McGwire knew it all the way out.
Well, let's see if it's not at the end of the bat. Got up underneath it a little bit, and Mark knew it right away. You know, the sluggers have a feel. They know when they get the good wood on the bat, and that was not the time. But I think you're going to find that Hernandez will challenge him, and he'll have a legitimate shot tonight.
Ray Langford stands in, hitting in the 4-hole tonight. 87 RBIs on the season. Fastball in there for a strike. As you know, on our Casino Queen homer board you see on the highway back home, McGwire sitting on 55 home runs. There's the board from the Casino Queen. Hopefully that number can change tonight. Interesting to see if Jordan wants to run a little bit in this situation, try and get into scoring position. Brian has 14 stolen bases. Greg Zahn threw out Langford last night trying to steal. Hernandez and Jim Leland wondering the same thing. There you see Langford's numbers. Boy, his second half has been really, really special. Jordan not going, swinging a miss, strike 2, and Hernandez is ahead, 0-2.
You know, Bob Ray was talking about something that is very true and something I haven't thought about. He's hit in the same group with McGwire all season long and said, you know, sometimes we get cheated out of a lot of swings because you know how deliberate Dave McKay is in pitching to McGwire in batting practice. That takes swings away from everyone else in that group. Never thought about it, but it is accurate. Of course, this is the month of September. A lot of hitters kind of back off a lot from batting practice.
Today there was no batting practice. Rain
on the field.
On the field, right?
They'll hit
in the cage,
cages,
right?
Which is the #1 priority in South Florida, is to have a very, very good batting cage. Late afternoon thunder showers.
It's used almost daily, right?
Yeah.
One ball, 2 strikes to Langford. Hernandez and Zahn pretty deliberate. Here's the pitch to him. Misses down, 2-2. The crowd doesn't appear to be as big as it was last night. Do you agree? Seems a little less.
But I think with the late afternoon rains that a lot of people said, well, I know I'm going to miss batting practice. So we'll have to wait and see if they
arrive
see
what the numbers say. Yeah, 2-2 pitch. Just missed, 3-2.
By the way, last night's crowd was 36,000. They average around 21 here. But the last time they had a Monday night game was probably more indicative of what they draw on Mondays, and that's more like a 14,000. Just the drawing power of Mark McGwire.
Payoff pitch. Jordan running, fouled off. We'll do it again. Derek Lee at first base on the 3-2 pitch. You know Jordan's running anyway. Backed off. So Hernandez will try again on a 3-2 pitch. Very deliberate, as we said out there. Will take his time. Fastball, slider, changeup. Hard slider, right, when it's working. Jordan running to the right side. Luis Castillo will make the play, and Hernandez gets out of the inning with only a walk to Brian Jordan. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. No score. Time to take a look at our Florida Marlins lineup. Southwest Airlines and Jim Leland, Todd Dunwoody, Alex Gonzalez, Kutse Lee, Floyd Orizon, Castillo, and Hernandez. Pretty much the same lineup as last night, save the pitcher. The Cardinals go with their, what I guess is now the regular defense. Polanco in there at short. Everybody else you know. And Matt Morris is on the mound with a record of 4-4, and isn't it great to see him pitching?
Well, it really is, and the Cardinals are looking for their third straight victory. Got a good chance behind Matt Morris, who's 3-0 lifetime against the Florida Marlins. Good ERA of 2.45. Suffered his fourth loss last time out, but we'll get him back on the winning track.
Young Todd Dunwoody, one of the stars of the Marlins system, stands in. Leadoff hitter, 254 average, takes a strike on the outside corner. There you see Dunwoody's numbers. In his last 3 starts, though, he's hitting .444.
And a career .322 batter right here at his home park.
A couple of hits last night.
That's always fun to watch because he's very aggressive, very quick worker on the mound, and just appears to be having a lot of fun.
Getting around, working his way around that strike zone to see what Bill Hahn's going to give him. He gave him that first pitch up and away. Now it's 2 balls and a strike to Dunwoody. Hard hit, past Polanco, base hit for Todd Dunwoody. So his recent hot hitting continues for Todd Dunwoody. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Dunwoody gets it started for the Marlins, and that brings in the youngster Alex Gonzalez.
This guy has a lot of talent. He's not off to a good start, and I really think that Bill Hahn is trying to figure out the strike zone himself.
Ball 1 to Gonzalez. He drew 3 walks last night. There's a called strike. You mentioned Hahn behind the plate, Benet Marsh and Angel Hernandez around the horn. Our umps for this evening. Comes in hard on the inside.
Showed
90,
bunt.
94 miles an hour. It's tough ones to bunt when they're in on you, aren't they?
Tough to bunt, you know, when your guy throws that hard, if you have bad form. But also,
yes,
you had the luxury of knowing it was a ball, so you did not have to, you know, to square around and try and bunt that ball coming in on your hands.
2-1 to Gonzalez. Throw over as the Cardinals anticipate some movement from Dunwoody. Dunwoody has decent speed. Stolen 4 bases on the season.
I almost like to see him try. I like the combination of the velocity of Morris, quick, and Marrero throwing.
Good delivery from Morris, and Marrero with the gun.
Yeah,
Give it a shot.
that's right. And a young man that's made his major league debut in St. Louis, hit a home run in his first game, but has really struggled since that time.
Count even 2-2. Dunwoody not going anywhere, and that just misses outside, and the count will be full.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, so far the borderline pitches have not gone to Matt Morris. They're working both sides of the plate. You know, you got to get one of them.
Popped it up. Shallow right field. Jordan comes on. One away.
It's not that easy of a play for Brian this time of day. Even though we had the rains and thunderstorms, it looks like he's kind of looking up into a sun field.
The ball first backdrop against the stands, then up into the sun, and then back into the stand.
And you still really have to see kind of the sun out in the center field area starting to peek over through the cloud cover, but you really need a little help from your infielders. You really got to watch where the ball hits the bat.
Mark Kotze taking the ball. A little bit of a breeze, warm and humid all day. Kotze was reaching. It's 1-1. Kotze hitting .269. He and Dunwoody, very similar players. Kotze's got a nice arm.
I'll tell you what, when you look at Kotze and Derek Lee, the Marlins first baseman, you got two of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year.
One ball, two strikes as Morris gets that one in there. Off-speed pitch.
You look at how well Kotze and Dunwoody and these guys have done early in their career, you know, coming out of college. Also, Darren Erstad. You think about, you know, especially in Erstad, how successful he's been for the Angels. And then you say, you know, that J.D. Drew is supposed to be ranked so much better of a prospect than all these kids were.
Top some of these kids, you're doing something. That'd be terrific for the Cardinals. There's the next one. Way outside, 2-2. Yeah, if that is the standard set, and you can top it, that's good news. Runner is going. And no throw, ball 3.
Now, when I said I wanted to see him run, I didn't want him to be running on a real slow breaking ball.
Fifth stolen base for Dunwoody.
They have 95 miles an hour up there, and I'll guarantee you this is not a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
You can even see him break it.
Right, so pick the right pitch, and Marrero really had no chance to throw.
And isn't that interesting? You say he had no chances. That fly ball goes into left field. Back near the track is Ron Gant. Makes the catch. Dunwoody fakes as if he was going, and a nice one-hop throw from Gant into third base. And interesting, you talk about the maturation of a young guy like Marrero. Had no chance. A lot of guys, especially guys with a great arm, love to show it off anyway. You say, wait a minute, I can't get him. No sense in making that throw.
Very good point, Bob, because the time you throw the ball unnecessarily, you're running the risk of making an errant throw.
Ron Gant made the catch. 2 down, Dunwoody at second base, and this is Derek Lee. And it's a called strike in on him. Talked about him last night. Lee's had some up and downs this year. Lost his job for a while. The youngster battled, hung in there, and he's back in there as the everyday first baseman. Got 16 home runs on the year and 68 RBIs.
And the average really has climbed.
Yes, it has.
Late.
Broke his bat. Might be tough for Polanco. Took a funny hop on him, and Placido stayed with it and threw him out. Showed off a nice arm right there as well. One hit, and that's it. Go into the second, no score. Cardinal Baseball receive a gift certificate to Krieger's Pub and Grill, St. Louis's neighborhood bar and grill. Visit any one of their 6 locations, all fine locations. Al, you and I have been known to stroll into a Krieger's for a fine meal.
Yeah, but separately.
Most of the time. So we can spread out that way.
Yeah, spread out the wealth. But of course, we never take any of those complimentary coupons or whatever. gift certificates. We've never received those, right?
I haven't seen those.
They're kind of saved for the executives.
I think the executives have those.
Yeah.
Ron Gant leads it off, took a strike against Levon Hernandez. Ron hitting .226. Pops it up foul down the right side and out of play. Well, about a month or so ago, Gant was really struggling, and he was out of the lineup for a little bit. Now he's back in. His power numbers have come up. His RBIs have started to come along. It will not be the season that he or Cardinal fans had hoped for, but a strong September would help ease the pain of what has been a frustrating year for Ron and really just about the entire team. So when we say strong September, talk about individuals, talk about the team trying to play well, finish on a positive note. Still won't take all the sting away. 2-2.
Who knows? Get up around that 30 home run barrier, up around 65, 70 RBIs. Someone might find him attractive in the offseason. And mentally, he might be more geared for the season coming up also.
That's right.
So it's only a win-win situation if he goes out strong.
Yeah, you hate to see teams, and you've seen it. Teams and players will kind of mail it in at the end when it's all for naught. The fans are still paying for tickets, and so you want to see guys like Ron Gant still hustling, still working hard, and trying to make the best of their situation. Full count now as he works Hernandez to 3-2.
Well, Bob, that's why I believe in many aspects Sosa has an advantage over McGwire, because he has, you know, a lot to play for as a team. You really can't wait to get to the ballpark.
Going the other way, a rare opposite field base hit for Ron Gant. And if he would do that on a consistent basis, the average would be there, and then the pitchers would come into him, and then he could turn on balls.
Well, not only that, but, you know, he's strong enough where he can hit the ball at the ballpark.
That's right.
The opposite field. So it just enhances the entire ball game. If you have a dead pull hitter as a pitcher, there's 1,000 ways to pitch him. Every way you pitch him, you can get him out. But if a guy that sprays the ball around the ballpark, you can't stay in one location.
Ron Gant leads off the second with a base hit. This is Fernando Tatis. Gant had a pretty good lead.
But Bob, the point I was making about, you know, when you have a chance for, like the Cubs, a wild card, or you're playing for postseason, you just can't wait to get to the ballpark. You know, you're just energized and charged every minute. You get into the dog days of August and September, if you're on a losing ball club, it just wears on you, not only physically, but probably more so mentally.
Yep.
And you really have to trick yourself to come to the ballpark and then be pumped up and want to compete.
Here's Ron Gant dancing around at first base. He wanted to draw a throw, and he sure did. Now Tatis takes ball one. Fernando strikes out. His strikeout to walk ratio is 2-to-1, which is not exactly what you like, but not uncommon in modern baseball. Yet, you see what he's done the last 10 days. His on-base percentage is about .392.
And remember, it kind of started with that 5-for-5 game against Pittsburgh. Tony talked to him about the going to the opposite field, hitting the ball up the middle on over to right. Now, if they make mistakes, then they pitch you inside and leave in the strike. Then you can turn on that ball. But if they're pitching you constantly away and throwing sliders away, stride out there, stride right back at the pitcher, and use your hands and guide it to the opposite field.
Because he has enough talent, he clearly can do it.
Sure.
There you're talking about being a pull hitter. And there's the numbers right there. But the 15 walks and 108 at-bats is pretty good. You prorate that, that's not too bad. However, in 108 bats, 30 strikeouts is not exactly what you'd want. You prorate that out, and it's pretty ugly. So keep walking, cut down on the strikeouts. As Al says, when they want to pitch you away, go up the middle. He's a young man. He's got a bright future.
He's got a lot of upside, and he's a young man, and for a little package, he's got a lot of pop in his bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hernandez is ahead of Tatis. Gant with the lead, not going. The pitch just missed outside. 2-2. That was that slider, 85 miles an hour.
Levon will change speeds, but for the most part, he's in attack mode. He'll go right after you. For a young man, he's pitched a lot of good, solid baseball. And we're talking about going back to his days with the junior and the Olympic team, or not the Cuban Olympic team.
Yeah, the Cuban national team. He strikes out Tatis. First strikeout of the game for Hernandez.
That's curveball here, and that's where that big looping swing really is going to be exposed by off-speed pitches.
Some players will try and take the big hack early in a count, and then when they get 2 strikes, shorten up and try and be smart.
Maybe the best I saw at that was Rico Cardi.
What a hitter.
Yeah, but it went 2 strikes. You know, you thought he was a Matty Alou or something, you know, a little tiny guy, but he didn't want to strike out. He wanted to put the ball in play.
He was some kind of hitter, wasn't he?
But until he got to 2 strikes, he played with his size of about 230.
Polanco's done a nice job getting a chance to play some shortstop. Pitch out. Ordaz is a more accomplished shortstop at this point.
Debatable.
And I say that because he's been playing it more. Doesn't mean that Polanco couldn't turn out to be a fine shortstop. He just needs some experience there.
Yeah, I think what has hurt Ordaz are 2 things. One is that he lays back too much on too many balls and lets the ball play him instead of him being the aggressor. And also, I think even though you got 2 young guys that have had some success hitting at the AAA level, are going to have to make some adjustments at the major league level. Ordaz more so than Polanco.
Gant is running, hit and run. That's going to drop for a base hit. Ron makes the turn and goes on to third. So Polanco takes it the other way, and there's an example of what you're talking about. Ordaz might be a fine fielder, but you got to hit some. You got to take what the pitcher gives you. There's Gant. Sees it's down and makes the turn and goes.
Yeah, good camera work there to see that he's got to make sure that the ball is put in play. Good inside-out swing by Polanco for the base hit. And I think sometimes a manager can help a young player by employing that hit and run. Especially when you see the results like that, because he looked like he knew exactly what he was doing, had the right hand work for the inside-out stroke to right. Made a very nice play.
Now Matt Morris is going to go down and talk to Rene Latchman. See how the Cardinals want to play at first and third with only 1 out. Interesting, Morris is only 2 for 16 in this short season for him, but we know that he has the ability to be a better hitter than 125.
Right, he is. He showed last year that he was a pretty solid hitter.
Yeah.
He missed about 3 months with his shoulder injury. He just checked his batting average, calculated how much it would go up with a base hit here in RBI.
He'll have that figured out. In about 4 points by the time he would get to first base if he could get a knock here.
Slider away from him, and I'm a hitter. I'm in the 8th place spot. I'm no pitcher.
Is this a situation where you might see that slug bunt?
Well, you do that if they're charging, but I think what they're also trying to generate is to move the ball to the right side. Well, maybe you can score a run even if you do hit into a force out.
Yeah.
Especially you've got to don't want to hit it too hard or they get the double play to get out of the inning. But with Derek Lee holding Polanco on, there's a nice hitting room on the right side.
Rene Latchman just went down and said something to Ron Gant. Let's see what happens. Missing outside was Levon Hernandez, 1-1. You can see Ron, that was the previous pitch. Ron Gant at third. Renee came over.
Yeah, you're always going to come over there because...
Don't get out, Ron.
No, what it is it's a verbal sign on a squeeze play. You flash signs to the hitter, but it's usually verbal to the runner at third base.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Now with 2 strikes, how will the Cardinals play it? Ron Gant at third. Placido Polanco over at first, 1 away.
Well, I think it's a little different now with Marrero hitting the 8th spot. And that's why Tony had to make the adjustment. He wanted to put a better hitter in the 8th spot, and sometimes his weakest hitter now is 7th. Other position players. He's going to have the ability to drive in, get a key run from Marrero.
Here's the pitch. Bring him up. I think that's exactly what happened, Al. I agree with you 100%. Now you know you've got Marrero behind him. Now you hope for Eli to come up with a 2-out hit.
Yeah, there were times where Tony almost felt like he was forced to go ahead and put on the squeeze because just didn't have the confidence in the man hitting in the 9th spot. And now Marrero, a little better hitter, who's been hitting the ball of late, has that average of 261. You know, now you sit there and you go, okay.
See if Eli can put one through the infield somewhere, drop one in front of an outfielder, or if you're fortunate, plug a gap. Capable of doing all those things. Morris not happy with his bat. He takes pride in being able to help himself at the plate.
Yeah, and you know, Tony's given the pitchers so much batting practice to where they have the ability to help themselves, and he's just mad because he guessed wrong. He was guessing slider or something, and he took a fastball right down the middle.
1 ball, no strikes. That caught the outside corner.
Slider or off-speed pitch there. Last 6 games at 440 average. He had 467 on the recent homestand.
Ron Gant at third. Polanco at first. Outside for a ball. 2-1. Of the 2nd inning here in Florida. That missed. And it's 3-1 and a chance for Marrero to dig in a little bit.
Well, we know the strike zone is not called at its height the way it should be, but Bill Hahn really is not giving many low pitches either tonight.
And Marrero walks to load the bases with 2 outs. And it just gets tougher for Hernandez because Delino DeShields will stand in.
I think he threw a couple of those pitches exactly where he wanted them to.
I think you're right.
Delino 1 for 7.
Levon, this is not Eric Gregg behind the plate.
Right.
This is Delino DeShields. Average of 301 as he stands in. Grounded out his first time. Didn't get a good hack at Hernandez in the first.
You know, I happened to be in Sicily last year, Game 7 of the World Series, and I heard all about it even there, about the strike zone. I watched it. It came on at like at 2:30 in the morning when the game time started.
That's how to play. 1-1. Well, let's just say Hernandez took advantage of an opportunity.
Hey, and that's the way you look at it. If you see, you're kind of foolish if you see that the umpire has an expanded strike zone for not going with it.
And you don't see how far it goes, yeah. What are those parameters on this night?
Even Eric Gregg admitted that he was a little wide on one of those strikeouts.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded. The pitch to DeShields. This is outside. The Cardinals being very selective tonight. 2 walks in 2 innings. But the Redbirds have been getting deep into counts already tonight. Gant at third, Polanco at second, Marrero at first. That's fouled off. We'll do it again on 2 and 2.
Notice Hernandez's last start was in Cincinnati and didn't fare well and walked quite a few in that ball game.
Yeah, he walked 6 in only 3 innings. High walk totals and the long ball have done him in. He's been up and down all season long.
But any given day, he can come out there and throw a gem at you.
Yes, sir. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded here in the second. No score in Miami. Line drive, it's going to drop in front of Floyd. 1 run will score. Here comes Polanco. The throw is not cut off. He's safe at the plate. 2-0 St. Louis. DeShields comes through with a 2-out base hit. What a job by Delino. Typical of what he's done all year, Delino takes what is given him.
Well, he really gave him a real slow off-speed pitch, doing Delino a favor. Boy, not much of the throw here, and good aggressive base running by Polanco gives us an extra run. See, there's that breaking ball and just kind of, I'm going to trick you a breaking ball, and just left it up, and Delino picks up his RBIs 35 and 36.
You mentioned being aggressive. The Cardinals were aggressive on the bases last night. Rene Latchman waving him home. The Cardinals are saying, you've got to throw us out. We're going to make you throw us out in this series.
That's the way it should be.
This is Brian Jordan taking a strike.
Can't say Rene really knows these guys because
not many of them were around, if any.
No, they only have 15 rookies on their roster right now, and they've had as many as 25 during the course of the year.
Unbelievable. 2-0 St. Louis. Jordan would like to make it more. He's in the hole, however, 0-2. He walked his first time. Three singles and a walk in the inning have plated 2 for the Redbirds. Well hit. Todd Dunwoody goes back, has a bead. Probably the best hit ball of the inning. Jordan turned on it, but deep to center field, and Dunwoody was there. Cardinals on top, 2-0. Welcome back to Florida. St. Louis on top, 2-0. Redbirds score 2 on 3 hits and a walk in the top of the second inning. So Matt Morris has his lead as we go to the bottom of the inning. Delino DeShields drove in with a little bloop single to the opposite field. Very aggressive on a ball, hit the shallow left field, and Polanco came in to score that second run. The Cardinals are trying to force the issue here tonight. Floyd Orion's on. 5, 6, 7 hitters in the inning. Cliff Floyd, the Marlins' best player after the season long, and really starting in the preseason, the fire sale. There's numbers. Show you he has been performing. There's a strike at the knees. Performing for the Marlins. And he's been hot lately, hitting .400 in his last 8 games. Ooh, there's a called strike as well. And Morris gets ahead of Floyd. Up in the air, deep into right field. Jordan says, got it. Hey, on Saturday, it's that time of year again. It's hardcore football on Fox. Ronnie Lott, Bill Moss, Ron Pitts show you the real National Football League. Hardcore football. College football on Saturday. Trust me, there's hardcore football on Sunday and college football on Saturday. In other words, on Fox.
Hey, a triple header.
Yeah, we got a triple header this Saturday. And then followed up with hardcore football on Sunday. All the football you want right here on Fox Sports Midwest.
Kevin Norrie has a 6-game hitting streak during that time. He's hit .407 and has hit in 16 of his last 17 games.
Yeah, and in those 17 games, Al, he's hitting .343, a real turnaround. He was the Cubs' starting third baseman to start the year and was just so bad, they sent him out and then finally traded him.
Yeah, but you look at a lot of these young Marlins, even Ori, the numbers they put up at AAA are pretty impressive. That's the overall numbers here, but he's really starting to get the playing time, feeling himself refreshed at the major league level. Outstanding curveball.
First strikeout for Matt Morris. Take a look.
Good curveball.
That's unfair. If you can locate that, set up guys, and then hit them with that yellow hammer, you can have a lot of success as Greg Zahn stands in.
Zahn getting playing time the last 2 nights because Randy Knorr had a sinus infection flare up on him.
You talk about guys getting an opportunity to play. Knorr and Zahn, once Charles Johnson was dealt, it was wide open. Guys that were expecting to be backups now get playing time.
And sometimes guys complaining because they're not getting enough playing time, and then when that opportunity comes to them, they go, well, wait a minute, I'm being overexposed.
Zahn takes it up and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Always watch there. You know, every year you'll have some guy that'll sit there and go, boy, if I was playing, I'd be doing this, or I should be playing every day. And then that opportunity comes and they play themselves right out of the big leagues.
Keep your mouth shut. You're in the big leagues. Take the meal money, take the salary.
Zahn hitting 198, 077 from the right side.
Here's Edgar Renteria. Saw a flash of him to the left side. Tatis goes up and hauls it in. 3 up and 3 down, nothing across. 6 in a row retired by Matt Morris. McGwire, our leadoff hitter, comes up in the next inning. Fisher Cardinals publication commemorating Mark McGwire's run for the home run record is out. It is Cardinals Game Day magazine. Get a subscription. You see Maris there in this Cardinal uniform, and you see Mark McGwire coming up. 2 of the all-time greats. Get that magazine. 982-7336. Chasing Ghosts. The McGwire jerseys are out, even here in Florida.
Big Mac shirt, 62 on the back.
Outside, ball 1. And while we follow the home run chase, McGwire's been pretty hot lately. His last 14 games, he's hitting .364 with 8 homers and 13 RBIs, and there he takes a strike. It's 1-1. The Glitterati. Line drive, base hit. McGwire spanks it into left center field, and a leadoff single for what more often than we would like to see.
Mark's laughing.
Is our leadoff hitter.
Mark's laughing because they're booing him. I tell you what, sometimes the home runs are so majestic and so impressive, but to be down on the field and see the velocity that a line drive like that, it's just impressive. I mean, it's like twice the velocity the ball jumps off his bat than any other Cardinals.
Ray Langford takes a strike. Yeah, you're right, Al. It gets down there and people see, you know, the home run deal and the distances is obvious, but those line drives are scary for infielders. Hey, Latchman isn't worried about a home run coming his way when he backs out of the third base box. He knows line drives, even ground balls, can take a guy out. Broken bat, base hit. Gonzalez tried to get up, but he couldn't climb one more rung. Langford spanks it into left field. Cardinals now have 5 hits and back-to-back hits to put 2 on and nobody out.
Hit right off the end of the bat, but good piece of hitting, seeing a ball in his area or his zone that he can reach and not trying to do too much with it. He'll sacrifice the bat for the hit.
See if Ron Gant can move the runners along. Golden opportunity starting the third for the Cardinals. He goes up hacking and fouls it off. McGwire on at second, Ray Langford at first. They set up outside. Will that get out of play? Yes. But Hernandez is ahead of Gant. No balls, 2 strikes. Ron Gant would like to add to his RBI total of 56 right here. Set up outside again, trying to get him to reach 1 and 2. There are your runners. McGwire at second. Ray Langford over at first. They don't hold Ray. He's got a big lead. Off speed, struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Hernandez. Hey, let's take a look at our Casino Queen leaderboard. McGwire and Sosa month by month. And, of course, we were talking earlier, Al, that nobody even talked about Sosa in any kind of a race until about the 20th of June.
That's right. He hit those 20 home runs, jumped right in there. I find the interesting thing is McGwire always said that you have to average 10 home runs a month. And if you notice, you know, he hit 10 home runs in 3 of those months. So you had the one in March, the only game they played. Then he had 3 different months where he had 10 home runs, 8 in another, and 16 in the 5th. So
6-month season, 10 a month.
And now if you add 10 in the month of September to it, hey, we got a new leader in the clubhouse.
Swing and a miss. Tatis. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And last year, I think Mark hit 15 home runs.
Yeah. Well, and that's when, you know, you end up with 58, tying with the most ever by a right-hand hitter, which he did on the last day of the season last year with, I believe, Jimmy Fox and Hank Greenberg.
He broke that record now, most by a right-handed batter.
It's going to happen.
Well, he's already done it. Is that what it was? You know, he hit 58 last year. He's got 55 now. It was 110.
Well, I meant in a season.
Right.
In the season. And as he goes after Hack Wilson, 1 to tie him, but you start looking at the numbers, and that's why people were talking about him. 58 home runs, you're right there. In fact, last year, if he doesn't have that real tough July, probably would have easily done it last year.
Yeah, he only had 3 home runs in July. And remember, it took him a week before he hit his first one when he joined the ball club.
That's fouled off and out of play. 2 and 2. So the talk started last year for Mark McGwire. And while Ken Griffey has fallen off the pace a little bit, big home run month, says, yeah, his September bear is watching, but Sosa was the one in June with a 20-homer June that jumped into this thing.
Sosa's already had, you know, he's had more than 100 at-bats than McGwire. McGwire has more than twice as many walks.
You start doing the math and looking at opportunities for McGwire, the numbers even become more mind-boggling. Fouled off, out of play again. It's 3 and 2 to Fernando Tatis. Flirting with hitting 300, career high, 119 RBIs, 55 home runs with a month to play here on September 1st. Payoff pitch. Fly ball, deep center field. Dunwoody goes back. He has a beat on it at the track, 400 feet away. McGwire tags up and goes to third. 2 away now. McGwire was able to move up. Tatis just missed, hitting a 3-run homer. Example of the kind of charge he can put into a ball.
Ball up, and that big swing, and he got his arms extended deep in this ballpark. This is a big ballpark here. They hit a long way.
So can Polanco come through again?
You know, sometimes you look at it and you go, well, you know, McGwire knew that that was going to be deep, but you go, Ray Lankford, his running speed, why not go back and tag up? But in this case, with the pitcher batting 8th, the first base open, they walk Polanco, and you got Morris.
Great point.
Batting.
Great point.
So maybe it was good that Ray didn't.
Can Polanco go 2 for 2 early in this game? Strike 1 to him.
I'll tell you what, we could really shock the baseball world right now with a squeeze play.
I think you're right.
And Greg Zahn may not want to make a tag. It definitely would catch you by surprise, wouldn't it?
It would catch everybody by surprise. I think you're right. Line drive, base hit. How about Polanco? A 2-out base hit for Placido, and McGwire scores for the Cardinals to make it 3-0. Polanco comes through. He's 2 for 2 tonight, and gives Matt Morris and the Cardinals a 3-0 lead.
Well, it's gonna, you know, people are sitting here going, well, he got these little guys that don't get much RBI production. Now, there was an errant pitch. It's supposed to be inside, gets that over the plate, and a nice solid line drive. But now Polanco has more RBIs than Tatis. Now, a little less playing time, and I mean, that tells you something right there, because we all talk about the upside of Tatis, but yet Polanco has 11 RBIs to Tatis is 10, and Tatis has 4 home runs to Polanco's 1.
Very interesting, and that was while it was a mistake, it was a mistake that he hit for a line drive. He turned around on it. Now Morris flies out to right field, but not before the Cardinals score another run. Polanco drives it in, and the Redbirds are on top 3-0. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealers, by Pizza Hut, home of the Edge, Sicilian, and more, and by Auto Tire. Auto Tire, the home of bottom line pricing. 3-0 Cardinals as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nice start to the ball game. Some folks pitching in, Polanco specifically, and some other 2-out base hits to keep innings alive. It's been a good start for the Redbirds. McGwire just scored his 107th run. What a year. I mean, the home run total, everybody knows those, but 119 RBIs, 107 runs, 143 walks.
The RBIs and run total, he set new career highs Sunday night, so everything he does to this point just add to it.
Luis Castillo leading it off for the Cardinals, or excuse me, for the Marlins against the Redbirds. Matt Morris with a 3-0 lead. Castillo only hitting 179. We've talked about his trials and tribulations with this organization. A lot of talent, and Castillo just hasn't been able to put it together. He was handed a job a couple of years ago, lost it, and ever since then he's just been battling to get back to the big leagues and get a regular spot. Morris ahead, comes inside and misses. 2-2. 8-9-1 hitters due up in the inning against Morris. Got a bat on it up the middle. Good speed to Shields. Throws him out. A heck of a play by Delino when you factor in the speed. It's Baseball Thursdays, folks, on Fox Sports Midwest. Mo Vaughn and Nomar Garcia-Parra lead the Bo Sox playoff charge. Canseco looking for that 40-40 mark again. Sox Jays Thursday, 6 o'clock, Fox Sports Midwest. Delino made a heck of a play on Castillo, who just got some wood on the ball.
Yeah, he did. And you mentioned it, the factor of the speed, where you really have to charge and make that off-balance throw.
Livan Hernandez fouls it back. Livan handles himself at the plate pretty well, hitting 197 as he comes in, which is respectable for a pitcher.
I don't know if you caught that little thing in the paper today. It reminded me of Mo Vaughn and Garcia-Parra from Boston. After the strike or I guess it was after the strike in '94. There were some players that were credited with service time originally. You know, that ball just taking off inside and almost a swing where you almost walk right into the pitch. But Boston, there were certain guys that were going to be credited time for during the strike at one juncture. And Sammy Sosa had agreed to terms with the Boston Red Sox. And then when the National Labor Relations Board said no, he went back to the Cubs.
That one's easy for Tatis.
But how about that if Sammy Sosa and Mo Vaughn and Garcia Parra, and you put him in with a green monster, that would be something.
No question. It worked out well for Sammy and the Cubs in Chicago. The fans absolutely adore him.
And was it Larry Hines traded for Sammy 3 different times? One time people said, why? What is he seeing him? It's paying off now.
Even as recently as last winter, some folks talking about it. Can you ever win with a Sammy Sosa? Great talent, but kind of a wild player. Got a great arm, but when the chips are down, can he throw anybody out? Wild swinger, all those kind of things. And that's why I think you especially tip your hat to the kind of season Sammy's having, because he has made himself a better player.
Yeah, and remember, he silenced all of his critics with the $10 million a year contract. People said, oh, ruination of baseball. How can you give Sammy Sosa that kind of money?
He said, they're paying me, and I'm going to prove that I'm worth it.
And he did. I mean,
what a year.
And, you know, you look at McGwire, you look at Sosa, obviously these guys are paying their salaries.
No
How many
question.
players can bring the turnstile, can cha-chang the turnstiles to pay for their own salary, let alone half their teammates?
Excellent point. Doesn't happen very often these days, does it? This is Dunwoody. That's down the line and curving foul. Dunwoody has the only Marlins hit. He singled in the first for Florida. Also stole a base, but was stranded. Nobody's reached since. Swing and a miss on a nasty pitch from Matt Morris. He dropped the hammer on him. 9 in a row retired by the Cardinal right-hander. 3-0 St. Louis. Cardinal fans, this break in the action was brought to you by Brewery Fresh. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. The official beer, present, of course, Pro Player Stadium, like it is all over the big leagues. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Cardinals on top 3-0. It's the 9-1-2 hitters, and it's Eli Marrero leading it off. He is looking for his first hit. He walked his first time. Nice pitch from Hernandez. 1-0. Or 0-1, I should say. No balls and a strike. Marrero hitting .261. 1-1. A lot of family and friends here. Marrero, as he takes another strike, graduated from Coral Gables High School.
Yes, all-state, first team.
There you see it. Protecting the plate, fouled it off, 2-2. To the shortstop, Gonzalez. Throws him out. One away to start the 4th inning, and it's back around to the top of the order for the Redbirds and Delino to Shields. Delino's 1 for 2, and that base hit drove in the first 2 Cardinal runs. Delino now has 36 RBIs. Fakes, takes, ball 1. Ball 2.
Similar pitch to that last breaking ball. Delino just punched into left field for the first RBI.
Saw a fastball, pops it up into center field. Dunwoody is there. Had to reach a little bit for that one, didn't he? Yep. 2 down. That'll bring up Brian Jordan. BJ hitting in front of McGwire would like to get on so that
McGwire isn't our leadoff
again. See if they can get something started here in the 4th. Shot to center field. Dunwoody. And it is the first 3-up, 3-down inning for Levon Hernandez. To go to the bottom of the 4th, 3-0. Let's check our U.S. Postal Service's out-of-town scores in the 5th. Pittsburgh, Arizona leads. Houston leading early against Atlanta. Playoff preview there. No score at Wrigley. That one's just underway. No score in Milwaukee. Later on the coast, 2 more ball games. The moon over Miami is lovely. Some nasty clouds late this afternoon, but right now it's beautiful for baseball in South Florida as Alex Gonzalez leads it off 0 for 1. Average down to 143. To the left side. Tatis snares it. Fernando throws high, but out as McGwire makes a great play. Well, Tatis showed quickness to snare that ball, Al. Threw it high, got in a hurry, and then McGwire saved him on the other end.
Yeah, he's very talented defensively also, and he has a tremendous throwing arm. But sometimes he'll get a little bit erratic, and especially with his throws. He not over the top, kind of slung the ball over there. Ball will have a tendency to sail on you. Much more accurate, straight over the top, not that 3/4. But McGwire, with his height, was able to leap up there, snarl the ball, and then make the tag.
Kotze stands in. That's the thing about Tatis, and you can see him
snap the ball, snatch the ball rather than snarl the ball.
Snarl at the ball. That would scare it, make it stop. Line drive to Shields. Kotze got good wood, but the Shields snared that one. Yeah, you talk about Tatis and his throws. When he comes right by his ear, almost like a football quarterback, he's really got a nice arm. But when he drops it and slings it.
Yes. Well, you just by his demonstration, one's over the top, or you're on top of the wrist.
Yep.
And the other one, you've got it cocked to the side, and that's what it's going to sail.
If you're sitting at home, just do that. Then bring your arm down 3/4, and you can see where the ball will just sail out of your hand.
Drop your elbow down, and,
yep.
And elbow's kind of leading, and the wrist turns over, and it flattens out.
Very understandable why players will do why they make why it happens. Now, why they end up throwing it that way, that's something that's hard to figure out sometimes. Derek Lee's 0 for 1. Three and 1 to him. I would expect Morris will try and make him hit the ball, put it in play. 3 and 2. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He got quite a scare from Matt Morris when he had that dead arm period. He has been close to spectacular since. 2 hops for Fernando. Over the top, on the money. 12 in a row retired by Matt Morris. Coming up, our other leadoff hitter, Mark McGwire. Coming up after the game, Fox Sports News. Stay tuned. All the highlights, all the scores, all the stories in the world of sports after the ball game. Mark McGwire comes up, and the crowd loves it. Mark hitting .294. Base hit, scored a run in the 3rd. 1 for 2, and the first pitch to McGwire. Breaking breaking ball in there for a strike.
Well, let's just play something for a second.
Let's play.
He's averaging a home run every 7.76 this season. 7.76 at bats. He was 0 for 3 last night. He's 1 for 2 tonight, so that's 5 at bats. This is his 6th at bat since hitting a home run his last at bat on Sunday. Just got to see how long it'll take him this time.
I love the math. 0-2 pitch. 1 and 2.
But according to my math, you could go to the concession stand right now, because this is only his 6th at bat.
But close.
It's always fun, isn't it?
Check swing in fair territory. They had him pulled way over, but Castillo runs it down and throws him out.
Now, they didn't have the typical alignment where the second baseman is playing on the shortstop side of the bag. If they would have had that alignment, this would have been a base hit.
Yeah, he was pulled over, but not as drastically as we have seen often.
Got cheated with a swing there. Tried not to make contact. But a little nubber. Boy, pitchers love to do that.
Ray Lankford with 1 away. Takes a strike. Hernandez has retired 5 in a row now. Trying to get into a little groove here after he fell behind 3-0. 1-1.
By the way, Sammy Sosa in his first at bat struck out.
Cubs at Wrigley Field tonight again. Line drive center field right at Todd Dunwoody, and he makes the catch. Dunwoody has retired 5 Cardinals tonight. Early in the 5th. Getting some action. Outfielders like that.
Well, pitchers, you know, if you're going to serve up fly balls, you want to make it to center field. Don't let them pull the ball.
Ron Gant's 1 for 2. High fly ball, deep left field. Levon blows up balloons all day and then just watches them fly. Ron Gant, home run number 22, and it's 4-0 St. Louis.
30th home run of the year allowed by Hernandez. Ronnie Gant, you see the difference. Hit that ball to center, or you get a little bit more inside and be able to pull it. Ron hit this ball towering. Woo! Coming in on him, but it leaves it on the middle half in. Ron Gant knew it. But look at this. I mean, that looked like a monster blast. And then stop and think about Mark McGwire hitting it in the upper deck, another 100 feet above that.
He's ruined it for everybody.
But nice going, Ron Gant.
Home run number 22 for Ron Gant. Nice pitch to Tatis. Take a look at the bench. Pulling for Ron Gant. Here's one of the newer Cardinals right there, Joe McGwire. We'll talk about him a little later. Tatis with 2 away. Curveball can't get back into the strike zone. 1 and 2. There's Ron Gant. 22 homers, now 57 RBIs. Tatis banks it hard. That's going to get down, and it'll be a ground rule double. Kotsay couldn't catch up to it. Fernando really smacked it into right center field. He put a charge into that the other way, Al.
Well, demonstrating that he does have that power to all fields. He's got that big swing, and just beyond the reach of Kotsay, ground rule double. Here's a better example. You see how far he misses it. Well, really not by much at all. After a long run, but the more you see of Tatis, you just sit there and you have to be impressed.
Harness that ability. And you used the phrase earlier, big upside, and I agree with you.
Well, you know, the fact is once again, you're talking about a club trying to win, and they felt like they didn't have the time to, or the patience to allow Tatis to develop. Or you just I think the Cardinals are going to really benefit from that deal.
I think so, too.
Especially if you have also the opportunity to reacquire a Todd Stottlemyre as a free agent. And Mark Little, the other player to be named in that deal, is a pretty good talent in his own right.
Playing in Memphis.
And I think he's from Edwardsville. But Mike Jorgensen told me he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, they like him. And has been one of the guys that have been helping Memphis get back into the race. They're a game out with a week to play. Polanco's 2 for 2. Scored a run, driven in a run. Average up to 276.
And today we talked about McEwing, coming up. There will be some more September call-ups, but as long as Memphis has a chance, it's better for those young players to play in that type of pressure.
Get a taste of winning.
And hopefully to get into, AAA playoff contention.
Well, Hernandez didn't want to make another mistake to Polanco, and he has Morris to contend with, and Matt could bust this one open for himself. Well, after two were out, and Hernandez had retired 6 in a row. Looked like he was getting into a groove, and Gant found a groove of his own. How Ron Gant got his groove on. He can just get that groove back. For the last 2 years and 1 month of his contract, everybody will be happy. Tatis then with a double, now Polanco the walk. That's the question we'll ask, just like the movie. How Ron Gant got his groove back.
Well, really, if you really look at Ronnie, a lot of his successes happened after the birth of the baby. All the complications, there were some complications there where touch and go for a period of time. Mama and baby are all healthy, and all of a sudden his mind's a little more relaxed, and he's produced.
Interesting. Two and two. 2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Morris. He's got a 4-0 lead now. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Hernandez just came with the heat, but Ron Gant gives Morris the 4-0 cushion. Southwestern Bell Cardinal history on this date, 1958. Vinegar Ben Mizell sets the National League record. He walked 9, but he got a shutout. That's pitched around 9 walks, we like to say. And then 63, Kurt Simmons stole home. Simmons is stealing home. 7-3 over the Phillies. From Southwestern Bell, our Cardinals history.
Oh, I got a better one for you than that.
Better than that?
Oh, yeah, our good buddy Joe Linneman. Joe Linneman in a professional game, and that's a good sign right there, but
yes,
a professional game, wasn't at the major league level, walked something like 20 in a shutout.
Is that right?
Yeah. Now, you've got to be good to walk 20 batters and still get a shutout.
This is Cliff Floyd, and it's 1-1. That tells me the team he was facing was so bad, or his stuff was so good, but wild, nobody could touch it, one way or the other. He was unhittable, but all over the place. Another one of your favorite plays, Al. Pitcher in the middle of his windup time. Al shaking his head, folks.
I hope that didn't hit a guy in the head. He tried to. Look, it did. Put the hands up and it grazed the.
He's saying, wait a minute, is this side of my head still here? Yeah, apparently he won't need a haircut for a while.
Not on that side.
Floyd's 0 for 1, a little looper, base hit. Matt Morris had retired 12 in a row. Floyd gets a base hit. He's 1 for 2.
Extends Cliff's hitting streak to 5 games. Now you give up a base hit and you just start a new streak. But set up away and came back over the middle a little bit. Sometime that batter will feel the presence of the catcher on the outside shoulder, so he's going to look in that direction. Then if it comes back over the middle of the plate a little bit, and he's going that way, he's going to hit the ball hard.
Ball just missed, apparently. Ball 1.
Yeah, but did it miss inside, outside, high, or low? Because it looked like it was right down the middle.
Only going by the ump's call. I would not be prepared to analyze that. 2-0.
Back down, back down. Take a little breather right now. He finds himself, catches himself, getting out of control.
Corey's 0 for 1. He was a strikeout victim. There, Morris gets the strike in, 2-1.
Boy, but isn't that a great sign in a young pitcher that he already knows himself well enough to, I don't need a catcher or the pitching coach to come out and pay a visit. I know what I'm doing wrong.
Morris is ready. Checks Floyd. Floyd has good speed. Fouls it off, and he comes back to even the count, 2-2. There's Cliff Floyd on it first. He's stolen 27 bases this year. Just missed. Count goes full. Floyd is running on the 3-2 pitch, and he walked it. Well, the first 2 have reached here in the 5th, the first semblance of any kind of trouble, really, for Matt tonight. 2 on, nobody out, and Greg Zahn will be the hitter.
Sometimes pitching so well, you get bored during the game. So you got to entertain the folks a little bit, get a couple base runners out there, and then you kind of kick yourself and say, okay, now I've got to pitch.
Zahn hit a line drive in his only at bat, but it was right at Fernando Tatis. Actually, wasn't right at him. He had to leap up and grab it. Took an extra base hit away from Zahn. Morris is behind, ball 1.
Well, he's right around the plate.
Nothing our score. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Morse trying to keep working on that shutout, and it's fallen behind, and looks like he's still got very good stuff, but his location is not quite where he wants it.
Yeah, and he's starting to get a little emotional right there. But
he gets that one in there on a big fastball.
Hurt him at times tonight as he has not gotten the low pitch. And the last one more of an indication of the elevation of the strike zone raised.
Popped it up. Nice pitch. Shallow center field. The Shields backs out. The lino calls for it and makes the catch. Called the infield fly. Floyd and Ori stay at second and first base respectively. There's Cliff Floyd, and there's one away, and there's that first big out of the inning.
And really, a guy like Matt Morris would just feed off of that. Made a pitch when he was behind on the count. Got the big out, and then you just kind of thrive on it. You're right down here to another guy hitting under 200, and then the pitcher spot. So, you know, you just sit there and you stay in that attack mode, and good things will happen for you.
Morris just overpowered him right there with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Dugout moved Tatis in on the grass at third just to keep Castillo from thinking he could get tricky. It's 1-1. There you see Tatis in on the left side. The breaking pitch drops in for a strike.
And if Morris retires Castillo, you really have to pinch hit, don't you?
Just got a piece of it.
Oh, I was worried there of catcher's interference.
Yep. Heard it hit something. Wasn't sure if it was the pinch hitting for Hernandez.
Like a very late swing.
Yeah.
Almost just trying to chop wood, get a piece of it, and he did so.
1 ball, 2 strikes. They have a man up. Is that Stanifer?
Yes.
Breaking pitch in the dirt.
Ooh.
Did not go around. Third base umpire Angel Hernandez says no. That makes it a 2-2 count.
Now you be the judge right here. Breaking ball, looking at him get down.
I'll give him that one. I'll give Castillo that one.
See him from the side, they almost always look like they go around. But they don't always.
Came in with the heat, and the count goes full. Castillo trying to hang. You don't want to lose him here.
Well, you just can't be that fine to a 176 hitter.
Payoff pitch to the left side. Polanco high hop. DeShields on to first, safe at first. They could only get the middleman, and Ori takes out the line with DeShields on a tough play. Delino made the turn, but Castillo has terrific speed.
They had to play back on it to get that true hop, and by that time they just Castillo got too much running speed. Delino preparing himself and kind of spinning his body out of the way so he doesn't take the brunt of a hard slide.
And Hernandez is going to hit for himself. And he does get a base hit and help himself. Well, Jim Leland knows his personnel, and the Marlins are on the board 4-1. Base hit and RBI for Hernandez.
Well, they really haven't called up any of their reserves yet, so they don't have that deeper bench. And, you know, this is one of their veteran guys. But Matt Morris, I think, you know, saying, okay, I got the pitcher up, I'm going to get ahead with a fastball, and I think he has to kick himself a little bit right now. You see, he's a little upset with himself, but that's also a very good sign that this guy has that much confidence in his ability. He knew that shouldn't have happened.
It's 4-1, and Marrero's going to come out and talk to Morris. Big day coming up. Don't forget about this one. September 7th, it's Labor Day, and this is one of the fun ones, Al Lebowski. Players and coaches will take their shirts off their backs for MDA and Cardinals Care. All you have to do is buy the $1 instant win chances. You can buy as many as you want. Each chance is $1, and you'll come away, if you're a winner, if you're lucky, has done what he stands in, with an autographed game-worn shirt.
Every player, coach, manager, right after that game, you just walk out on the field, the player will come out, take it off his back, autograph it, present it to you. What a great idea. Cardinals started last year. Several clubs have adopted it. And I guess somebody's trying to say with that shot right there that somebody's going to walk away with McGwire's autographed shirt. Game-used jersey when he could be the game he breaks the record.
High fly ball, deep right field. Do we have a tie game at the wall? Trying Jordan with the catch. Dunwoody has been red hot and made a bid to tie the game. But Jordan says, not on my watch. Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Midwest, brought to you by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. If you depend on your car, depend on Dobbs. And by Steak and Shake. Extra innings. We're open 24 hours. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. Levon Hernandez stayed in the game. Got himself an RBI, his 4th of the year. Now he's going to pitch to the Cardinals here in the 6th. Cleveland could have pinched hit. Stuck with Hernandez. I just didn't want to go to his bullpen this early, Al.
And you can understand that. And of course, he's got one of his big horse out there on the mound. You know, you got to eat up some innings. Levon is over 200 innings this season, making his 29th start.
Marrero will lead it off in the 6th. Eli's 0 for 1 with a walk, and he fouls that one back to the screen. Strike one. Off speed, well hit. Hit it hard right at Kevin Oren and throws him out. And back around to the top of the order, 4 to Shields. Lino's 1 for 3 tonight. Drove in a pair. Strike one as the breaking pitch drops in onto Shields. Oh, and 2. The Shields got that big 2-run single. A little bloop to left field. He hasn't had a lot of good looks at Hernandez tonight.
That was a 2-out base hit. Polanco's was a 2-out base hit. And so was Ron Gant. So all the runs have scored tonight on 2 outs, hits. Remember early in the season we were remarking about how great the Cardinal hitters were with 2-out base hits. Then we kind of got away from it, but that'd be nice to see it again this last month.
Yes, sir. Hey, ring him up. Lino didn't like that call.
I think he was making sure, was it on the pitch or the strike? He's saying, I didn't swing, so you're calling that a strike.
Hernandez gets strikeout number 5. We've said it 2 times in a row. Jordan would like to get on in front of McGwire, and Jordan looked back over his right shoulder at that.
All of a sudden, the strike zone's getting a little wide to the outside. So Zahn's going to try and take advantage of it with a fastball.
Swing and a miss, he does. 0-2. Jordan will try and protect the plate. Hits it into center field. That'll end the inning. Actually right center, and Kotze comes over and makes the easy catch. 3 up and 3 down, nothing across. McGwire will lead off his next time. Chip in for charity at the Senior PGA Tour's Boone Valley Classic. You can make a tax-deductible pledge for every birdie the pros make during the tournament's 3 rounds, September 25th through the 27th. You could win a golf vacation to Beaver Creek, Colorado as well. For pledges or ticket information, call Metrotix at 534-1111. That'll be a great tournament. You can get involved there and maybe win some big prizes and help charity as well.
Great course, great action by the seniors.
Bottom of the 6th, Alex Gonzalez leads it off and takes a strike. Strike one. Gonzalez, Kotze, and Lee due up. Way up and in. Just missed him.
Remember I said earlier that pitchers love it when they get it kind of a check swing out. This is the next thing they love is sometimes the guys don't get that bat down and the ball hits the bat, rolls into fair territory. That's lovely.
Don't get too comfortable.
Well, you know, and that's a great point, Bob. You know, today's hitters all run up to the batter's box because they have no fear of being hit. So they are very comfortable.
Into left center field. Langford on the run, on the run, on the run. He can't get there. Gonzalez didn't let that up and in when effective. He hung in there. Effective, I should say. And he hung in there. And
actually, it hits right off the end of the bat. Ray had a real good jump on it. He came in. He noticed that. Was charging hard, but he just didn't hit it hard enough for it to get to him.
hangs in there, gets the blue base hit to lead off the 6th inning. Back in the 5th, lead-off base hit, ended up coming around and scoring. Now they got to try and get Kotze, and the breaking pitch misses outside. Last time up, he had a hard line drive right at the Shields. Kotze's 0 for 2. Well, on the 5th, leadoff base hit, followed by a walk. Here in the 6th, Gonzalez with the base hit. Now Kotze is ahead of Morris. 2 balls, no strikes. Hard hit to Shields. Makes the play. The turn to Polanco. Twin killing. Nicely done. DeShields spins. Perfect throw to Polanco. Placido gunned it over to McGwire for a nice 4-6-3.
The ball hit extremely hard, but once Delano caught it, it was pretty easy. Polanco right there at the bag. He eludes the runner going after him. And just a real nice 4-6-3. First double play the Cardinals turned tonight. They had 3 of them last night.
Cliff Floyd fouls off the first pitch. Strike 1. Despite the fact that Kotze hit it hard, beginning shaping up a lot better this time around. 2 down, nobody on for Lee.
It's one of those fine lines because in order to turn a double play, the ball has to be hit relatively hard.
1-2.
That's why oftentimes, you know, if you're a scout and you're judging a pitcher, you got to double play situation, so you need a ground ball, and if the pitcher induces one, well, it's not his fault that it wasn't really right at somebody.
Right.
So sometimes, you know, if it's a situation where you want to get a ground ball, the pitcher gets a ground ball, and it just happens to find a hole, they say, hey, he did what he was supposed to do.
Absolutely. He got away from Matt Morris. It's a full count to Derek Lee. Struggling with his control a little bit the last 2 innings.
Yeah, maybe it's more what we call effectively wild.
We'll see on the 3-2 pitch here to Derek Lee. Got in on him. That stays in play, but it won't. Guerrero and McGwire are both at the edge of the Marlins dugout. Full count, we'll do it again. Tatis with the backhand. Sets, slips, gets the throw off. Got him! He planted that back foot. It slipped. He still rallied himself and gunned him out. Tatis with the throw. Our Hoover pickup of the game ended the last inning. Fernando Tatis. A great part of the play was recovering from the slip, Al.
Yes, it really was. And then still has the confidence in having that great shotgun arm that he could get it over there for a relatively slow-footed runner.
Mark McGwire leads off for the third time tonight and takes a strike. Mark's 1 for 3 and has scored a run.
This is his 7th at bat. He averages one every 7.71 times at bat. So this is his 7th at bat since he last homered Sunday night, game winner in St. Louis. High fly ball.
Leave on, far behind Mark McGwire. Hits number 56. Takes over the home run lead and ties Hack Wilson's National League season record. Mark McGwire.
There it is, a fastball drifted back over towards the outer half. He goes to center field. They're tearing apart the tarpaulin out there, trying to find number 56. And maybe that one fan.
I wonder if his medical coverage will take care of that injury.
Ties Hack Wilson now. And look at this crowd. Another standing ovation for Mark McGwire on the road. He just went out for a curtain call. And these fans got what they came to see.
Now Langford hits one high into center field, but shallow. And done what he makes the catch. And they saw a real bomb, Al. It's 404 to that wall. And he hit that deep into the seats.
But isn't that fun, though? That was his 7th at bat since the home run, averaging this season a home run every 7.76. I said 7.1. Maybe it's got it down to 7. No. But well, let's keep track of that the rest of the way.
I like that. Think about it, folks. In National League history, as you get another look, a record-tying 56th homer in the history of the National League, the oldest professional league in baseball, and McGwire's tied the all-time record for homers in a season at September 1st.
And stop and think about it. You know, Roger Maris' record, who they're after, is 37 years old. The National League record is 1930, and Hack Wilson hit 56. 1930.
A lot of sluggers have come and gone in the National League as Ori throws out Gant. And Tatis will come up with 2 away. That's right, Al. Since 1930, think of all the National League sluggers that have hit bombs. Willie Mays, Henry Aaron.
Henry Aaron never hit 50. His high was 47. Never won a home run championship.
Number 56 here in Florida. 120th RBI career, as Al pointed out earlier. Every RBI extends his career high.
Another run scored.
Yep. 110 now, I believe.
108, I think.
Yes. 108 now.
How about the stadium? It's still a buzz.
You said it. They got what they came for.
Got what they came for, and we still got a lot of game left.
Two and one to Fernando Tatis. Well hit. Oh, Ori knocks it down. He's going to try and throw anyway. Safe at first base. I thought Ori probably should have just picked that one up, Al, but he made that a close play at first base.
He sure did. Really quick release. Ball was hit hard, tried to backhand it, came up on him in the heel of the glove, scrambled, got it, threw off balance, had something on the throw, And it was a good thing Tatis was running hard all the way.
That is the 10th Cardinals hit. Tatis has a pair of hits now. And Polanco has a nice night going for himself. See if he can keep it going. 2 singles and a walk for Placido Polanco. 5-1 St. Louis here in the 7th. The crowd still talking about a little piece of history that they've seen tonight.
I think we're going to be able to watch Fox News tonight, see something of McGwire.
I have a feeling number 56 will be seen a lot tonight all over the country.
A long way out to center field. We've seen some good shots die in the last 2 games, but not this one.
Mark regained the lead in the home run chase. There's a fly ball to right center field. Kotze goes back into the gap and makes a catch. But the Cardinals get a run, and Mark McGwire has electrified the crowd and the nation, tying the National League record with number 56. But everybody's talking about the top of the inning. Take a look at number 56 on the season. Haven't gotten an official distance on that. Bat boy excited. Seeing some history. He and Langford and Jordan have exchanged that little ceremony 56 times this season. Now Matt Morris goes back to work, looking for his 5th win. He's got a nice lead, his 4-run lead back again. It's 5-1. Cardinals have scored 5 runs on 10 hits, and it is Cliff Floyd leading it off against Morris. Two balls, no strikes. Fouled off out of play, 2-1. Fouled off again, and evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Time call. Full count on the leadoff hitter here in the 7th, Cliff Floyd. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Swing and a miss. He pulled the string on him and struck him out. Let's take a look at the Casino Queen Big Hits Homer board. And there it is, number 56 for Mark McGwire. Casino Queen keeping the count.
I'll tell you what, we've got a camera back out on Highway 40, right? Just caught that change of the guard.
I like that.
That's awesome. Casino Queen stay right on top of things like that.
To the left side. Fernando Tatis has been busy tonight, and he throws him out easily, 2 down. McGwire came out, and one of the Marlins players apparently said something nice. Came off the field. McGwire gave him a little salute. You saw Tommy Sant down there at first, Al, talking to him a little bit. Everybody, unlike 1961, everybody's pulling for these guys, McGwire and Sosa especially.
Well,
they like them both. They're so great for the game.
Yeah, I think that's the point to be made. And I talked to a lot of the advanced scouts, a lot of the old-time guys yesterday, and they were all remarking this is great for the industry.
Zahn hits one into the corner. It'll be a stand-up double. And the first extra base hit off Matt Morris tonight. Only the 5th hit of the night.
Got the Florida Marlins here, last year's world champions, and just what's left of them. Ball, errant location, supposed to be down and away, up, drifting over the middle of the plate. And yet the excitement that is generated here in South Florida just because of what Mark McGwire is doing, and Sammy Sosa and his ball club are in in playoff contention for the wild card. But this is what baseball's all about. It's made people forget about some of the past problems, labor problems. It's just made everyone realize that this is a great, great game, and it's a game for the family.
Fouled off, Luis Castillo is in a hole 0-2. He's grounded out, reached in a fielder's choice. Lance Painter has not been available the last couple of days, but if they needed him, was going to give it a go tonight. Was feeling a little better. His arm was a little, to quote the skipper, a little achy. And for a guy, hey, ring him up. And Morris, after giving up the double, comes back and gets Castillo. We'll go to the 8th. 5-1 Redbirds.
Well, let's take a look at our Auto Tire, what's on tap. You can see added games on Fox Sports Midwest, September 24th. That's the game that doesn't even show up on your schedule, the makeup game against the Expos, 7 p.m. Then the 26th is game time has been changed from a 1 o'clock start to a 3 p.m. start against the Expos on the 26th. And then the final game of the year, 1 p.m. against the Expos, and 98 will be closed out. So that's our Auto Tire, what's on tap.
It's going to be fun.
Hey, how many home runs will McGwire have at that point? Those 3 games there, extra bonus on Fox Sports Midwest. And, we'd like to think that he's already going to break the record, but every game on there is going to be that much more important because he can add to the record.
Well, I thought that in the offseason, thinking about it, I thought McGwire would break the record this year. I also thought that Griffey would break the record. Well, 2 guys will, maybe. More likely Sosa than McGwire. We shall see. John Mabry pinch hitting to take on a relief pitcher, so both teams taking their starting pitchers out. This is Rob Stanifer. And he misses ball 1 as Mabry pinch hits. Didn't play last night. Mabry hitting .257 on the year, but .333 as a pinch hitter. Done a nice job off the bench.
And Sosa still leads in the home run race McGwire leads as Sosa just hit one off the end of the bat, flying out to center field.
High into shallow left field. Floyd makes the catch, 1 down. That'll bring up Marrero. More tonight than last night officially. Attendance figures just handed us 37,014. 37,014, and Al said it, I'll repeat it, they got what they came for.
And I think they're a little later arriving tonight because of the rain with canceled batting practice. And I look for a bigger crowd tomorrow night.
Good point. Yeah. Everybody in South Florida, well, everybody in the country, but especially in South Florida, will be on all the newscasts tonight and in the morning and in all the papers.
And, they have a situation here down here that they added this game tonight just for the McGwire watch, but there's no television tomorrow for South Florida, so they should be a much larger crowd, and let's hope so.
Excellent point.
And we will be right here on Fox Sports Midwest.
That's the important thing.
Bringing you the action. Hey, what we got to do is we got to get McGwire up this inning.
Get him another one. Marrero grounds out. So Stanifer's got the first 2 that he's faced.
McGwire will bat again in this game, but let's have him hit in the 8th and 9th.
DeShields is 1 for 4 tonight. Even though he got a 2-run base hit that was key in this game, gave the Cardinals their lead, he didn't get a lot of good looks against Hernandez, and he'll see if he can fare better against Rob Stanifer.
just locked in. You know, he's having a lot more fun. You can tell he's, you know, and to his word, he said, hey, there's no home run chase until someone gets to 50.
Before September. That was the point I was going to make. A lot of the media who, and it's understandable, that's not even the right way to say it. They couldn't know because they're not around him every day like we are. Didn't have that opportunity, but thought, now the guy's getting cranky, feeling the pressure. No, he said 3 months ago, not really going to talk about any records till I got 50 or somebody has 50 before September. And as soon as that happened, he opened right up, just like he said he was going to do. I don't think it had anything to do with pressure getting to him. He just said that's the way I was going to do it this year, and that's the way he did it. And Stanifer strikes out the Shields to get out of the 8th inning. 3 up and 3 down for Stanifer. 5-1 Cardinals. Attention sports junkies. Finally, you can watch sports 24 hours a day and pass it off as research. Fox Sports Net is introducing a brand new game show, the Ultimate Fan League. They're looking for contestants, so if you've got mad sports knowledge, give them a call at 1-888-448-UFL or email them at foxufl@aol.com. That young man, well, good thing he was young the way he dove in between those tarps. That kid got the ball, but an older guy would have not bounced, would be injured falling in between the seats like that. And I think he did hurt his leg. I'm sure he thinks it's well worth it. Lance Painter, we were saying before the end of the last inning, that Lance had armed him by them a little bit, and it's a testament to the good season Lance has had. Overworked, the only lefty in the bullpen, and the fact that he can hang in there and stay, for the most part, 98% healthy for this season.
You know, it's also, Bob, there's a time where it takes a toll. This is David Berg pinch hitting. But there is a situation where a lot of times when you're forced to warm up in anticipation of going into games, that it takes a lot of toll on your arm. And funny as it may sound, it affects you more negatively the times that you warm up and do not pitch in the game. Because when you pitch in the game, you kind of blow it out. You kind of stretch it out to the point where, okay, but it's like warming up. You keep on getting ready, backing off, getting ready, backing off.
That misses outside. Berg is a fine pinch hitter, has been so far. He's 6 for 12 as a pinch hitter with a couple of RBIs. He's trying to get something started here in the 8th for Florida. Swing and a miss. Can't do it against Lance Painter. He struck him out.
Pitch right there. Good location off the plate. Getting him to swing at it. Kind of hard to get hurt with that location.
Todd Dunwoody with one away here in the 8th. Todd's 1 for 3. And Lance Painter gets ahead.
Last time up in the 5th inning, he gave the ball a ride. Almost snuck over the fence. That would have tied the ball game. He has hit home runs in his last 2 games.
Oh, he came down sidearm. Strikeout number 2 for Lance. Hey, if you're a fashion fan, and maybe you like sports as well, the Rams have a fashion rampage Monday the 28th at Rams Park. It's a neat deal. I've been there before. Players and their families will model Dillards and chaps by Ralph Lauren Fashions. Proceeds benefit area youth through the Rams Foundation. For tickets, call 982-RAMS, 314-982-RAMS. That is a fun deal. They got food and refreshments, and it's a neat deal. They do a real nice job with that out at Rams Park. Painter's come in and struck out the first 2 he has faced. He'll try and get Alex Gonzalez, who's 1 for 4. Off speed. Did he go? Nope.
I'll tell you what, Lance has really shown a much more effective breaking ball than we've seen in a while. Most of the left-handers, times he would leave it in a bad location, but he's been outstanding with it tonight.
Wants to bunt his way on and fouls. Trying to get something started in a 5-1 Cardinal game. 5-1 lead in this game. Gonzalez trying to get on for the 3-4 hitters behind him. Here's the pitch. Way outside, 2-2. As Al told you, we'll be back here. McGwire continues his quest for Maris's record. We'll be here tomorrow night. That's fouled out of play.
Yeah, little Jesus Sanchez will be facing Mark McGwire. Remember, we told you earlier that Livan Hernandez gave up that monster blast in Busch Stadium, the one with the Band-Aid, right? Well, it was a day or two later, Sanchez faced McGwire, and it only went 578 feet or something like that. Even a longer blast.
Swing and a miss. Lance Painter strikes out the side. We'll see McGwire coming up. Time for our Budweiser game summary. You see the score. McGwire ties Hack Wilson and continues his chase of Roger Maris and takes over the lead in the home run chase over Sosa. Matt Morris was very good tonight, threw 110 pitches. Cardinals have 24 games left, and you'll be able to see a whole bunch of them on Fox Sports Midwest. That game summary brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. That home run. It's number 656 for Mark McGwire. It's got to be hard running on that tarp.
He got a great jump on the ball.
He did get an excellent jump. You're right. He got a great jump, and that's especially hard running on the tarps. Jordan will lead it off, and he fouls it back, strike one. Be Jordan, McGwire, and Langford here in the ninth.
On Paul, the new Marlins pitcher.
Don Paul's been around for a while. (0-1). 5.16 ERA in 17 games with Florida. He would have liked to have had that pitch. Jordan went after one worse. He's in the hole 1-2. Ryan was in a fly ball mode tonight. He's flied out 3 times and walked.
I think that's tomorrow night's starter, Jesus Sanchez. I think Jim Lehman would send these guys home. One, is past his bedtime, and two, you don't want to get scared. This guy, little guy, he came from the Mets in the Al Leiter deal, and he really pitched probably one of his best games of the season at Busch Stadium against the Cardinals.
Ori picks up that hard hit grounder, one away. Fans are on their feet now, and they went nuts when he hit number 56, his last at bat. If you didn't know better, you would have thought that was a hometown crowd, but Al, we talked about it. The entire nation is rooting for both McGwire and Sosa.
No, they really are, and these fans here in South Florida realize the importance of that blast.
High fly ball, deep center field, way back, 57. A new National League home run record. in consecutive at-bats. McGwire ties and then breaks the all-time National League single-season home run record. Number 56, and here, number 57.
High sinker that just didn't really sink. And this one was further than number 56, a new record. And that gentleman has a wonderful souvenir in the blue shirt. Well, these fans have been great to Mark. The second curtain call, well-deserved, as we've seen National League history and on our quest for Major League history.
We have been so fortunate, Al Roboski, as Ray Lankford steps in. Last game of the year last year, we saw Mark McGwire tie the all-time right-handed hitter home run mark with 58. Now we've seen him tie and break the National League all-time mark. Everybody appreciates what he's done. This has just been fantastic. What a night here in Florida.
Well, it's outstanding, and you can see just the joy on his face, all of his teammates. He has been so special to them. As all the attention has been focused on Mark this year, he wanted to spread it around.
There's a shot to left. Floyd goes back. He looks up. It is gone. Number 25 for Ray Lankford. The Cardinals hit 4 home runs in the ball game. And Lankford hits number 25. It's his 88th RBI of the year. And Ray Lankford, some folks weren't as happy with his first half, including Ray, and he has really come on in the second half.
Well, he really has, and this is just fun to watch. Not only Mark McGwire, but just how the other guys have responded. Looking for their 3rd consecutive win, and now the ball just staying up a little bit. Movement, but not enough, and elevated too high to be an effective pitch. But, you know, these Florida Marlins have really challenged Mark McGwire. That is the fun of competing.
Yep.
Is to go out there and say, with this one at bat, I'm going to show you I'm better than you are. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Last night they went after him, a couple of walks, but they weren't even intentional walks. They went after him, just missed a couple of times, but they struck him out twice. Tonight, it was McGwire's turn. Here's Ron Gant. Here's the bench on Ray Lankford's 25th home run, and they're excited for him as well. There's Joe McEwing again. His first day in the big leagues. Joe McEwing, number, I didn't catch it, was it 58?
48.
48. How about that? We'll be able to tell his grandkids. And now Ron Gant gets another base hit down the left field line, and that'll be a single for Ron Gant, still only one away. Mark McGwire with a National League record. 57th home run.
After 56, he got a curtain call. 57. His teammates are out on the field, and now he'll come back out and show his appreciation to this large crowd that has now departed.
They saw their history. Tatis hits it hard, but right at the shortstop, Gonzalez, Castillo over to first, a double play to get out of the inning, but not before you have seen history. Mark McGwire, more home runs in a season than anybody in the history of the National League. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser, Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of Major League Baseball. By Southwestern Bell, go wireless with someone you know. And by Southwest Airlines, with fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. Fly Southwest. There's the chase. When Mark McGwire came out between innings, Al, to go out to first base, the fans still roaring, and he acknowledged.
He saluted to all areas of the ballpark and showed his appreciation. They have shown theirs tonight. And boy, this is something special. And it's going to be that way throughout the rest of the season. And, you know, you were talking about Joe McEwing sees this 56 and 57 home runs. Kind of remind me, I think I'm correct, in Jack Buck's first broadcast at the major league level is he comes up for a doubleheader and he sees Stan the Man hit the 5 home runs in the doubleheader.
Is that right? Wow.
He wondered if that happened every day.
Bobby Witt will finish the game for the Cardinals. Lance Painter had struck out the side in the 8th, and now Witt comes on in the 9th, and he'll face Kotze, Lee, and Floyd. Line drive, base hit to start off the bottom of the 9th. And Kotze gets his first hit of the night.
Bobby Witt, no stranger to this pitcher's mound here. He played for the Marlins for a period of time. Sent back to Texas. Let's shut down this offense right now. Only 6 hits allowed in this game. Morris was special. Painter was
terrific.
perfect.
Yep, sure was. Struck out the side. Derek Lee's grounded out 3 times. Witt hasn't pitched in a couple of days.
That's a good time to get the cobwebs out. And a ball game with a 7-1 lead. But you don't want to let this club back into it.
And Witt, a little wild. 3 balls and no strikes. And he walks Lee on 4 pitches. That's not the way they wanted to start the ninth. Let's take a look at our Discover card, payback, playback. Mark McGwire ties Hack Wilson's National League record of 56 home runs in a season. And then you want a little playback. He repeats and then beats Hack Wilson. Both to dead center field. And that second one, 472 feet. First one, 450, Al. Second one, 472. 922 feet. Is that right? 922 feet of home runs tonight for McGwire.
And I'm sure glad we didn't have to wait for 7 more at-bats to see the second home run.
Yeah, he's thrown your average way out of whack now.
Well, he's getting it down to 7.71 for you.
There you go. 2 on, nobody out, and this is Cliff Floyd. There's a strike to get ahead. Floyd's 1 for 3, and he scored a run. The only Marlins RBI tonight was by their starting pitcher, Livan Hernandez, who has since departed. Until this inning, the Cardinal pitchers had done a very good job with the top half of the order. 1-1.
You know, I'm not sure how much time Bobby Witt had to warm up because Lance Painter took the mound. And, of course, you know, we can understand how things got a little confusing in the dugout.
Yep.
And then Tony went out, took Painter off the mound, brought in Witt from the bullpen. Now, maybe they just forgot to tell Painter. And Witt might have been warming up, but I think we were all watching Mark McGwire.
What's interesting, too, is I wonder if, and on the negative side, and you hope this isn't the case, because with 2 out of the first 3 hitters being left-handed, those are Kotze and Floyd, that maybe Lance was supposed to go out and then said couldn't go. I mean, I didn't see anything to really indicate that, and you hope that's not the case.
Well, I doubt that because then they would have more. They would have said, okay,
they would have had more time. That's right.
But I think what the deal is, you know, because the way Lance was so effective, you save him 1 inning, very efficient, and he's ready for tomorrow. And so with a 7-0 lead, a couple more runs to work with, you turn it over to Bobby Witt. But now that it's getting into a situation that you do not want to have happen what happened last Wednesday against these Marlins. You can see Acevedo was warming up, the Cardinals closer Acevedo warming up in the pen.
was a called strike. It's 3-2. Yeah, because you're trying to win tomorrow, and if you can bring Lance back, 3 of the best 4 hitters on this Marlins club are left-handed.
Right.
Rather than burn him out. Great point. Up the middle. Tough play. DeShields makes it, scoops. Polanco gets him at second base. So that's the first out of the inning. That was a tough play all the way around. Don't forget, after the game, coming up, you're going to see a lot of that man, because Fox Sports News comes up after the game. Maris. They're all chasing him. McGwire cut into the lead. U.S. Open highlights, tennis, of course. Steve Sachs will have a Fox scope. All coming up after the game. It's September 1st, and he's got 57. Here's Kevin Ory. 0 for 2 with a walk. And he takes a strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2. What a night at Pro Players Stadium in Miami. I know between innings, Al and I looked at each other. It is a real privilege to be on hand.
Well, it's always a privilege just to be part of Cardinal baseball.
Well, this is another level. No, this is a whole nother level. This is something special.
But that's right. And you know what it is? It makes you can't wait to come back tomorrow. Bobby really throwing across his body. You know, more so than I can remember.
Kotsay at third. Floyd at first in the fielder's choice. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a pitch down and away, or he sort of got himself out there. And Witt now has 2 down and could get out of this inning if he can get Zahn.
And that really is the challenge. You make it a game within a game, and you come into a ball game with a 6-run lead. You get in a little trouble, and then you say, "Hey, I'm going to show you I can battle out of here. I can get into more important pitching situations or tighter situations." And it all starts with effective pitching every time you're on the mound.
Fouled off. Zahn has the only extra base hit for the Marlins tonight. He doubled in the 7th. McGwire's got a few bases tonight. 9 to be exact. 9 total bases with his home run and 2 home runs and a single.
Right. Remember, he had 3 hits on Sunday. Another 3 hits here tonight.
We're talking about how hot he's been, and it's his last 15 games just red hot.
Well, one of the things that I heard him say recently was that, you know, that I'm really looking forward to September because I have a history of being hot in September. So much of it is mental. And if you go in with that attitude, you know, it's going to get you started in the right direction.
Fouled at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cardinals a strike away from their 3rd straight victory. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Hard hit right at Mark McGwire. And appropriately, the big redhead ends the game with the defensive play. That's one for the road, and this game has been one for the books. Mark McGwire hits 2 home runs tonight. Number 56 right here ties Hack Wilson's all-time National League home run record. Set it in 1930. And in 1998, Mark McGwire tied it. But then, one at bat later, number 57, 22 feet further into dead center field.
Boy, locked in on the outside corner of the pitch. And, you know, I bet Casino Queen, they're so fast to the pace, they've already made it. Look at that, 57.
They're big hits. Casino Queen keeps us on track, and Mark McGwire keeps us coming back for more. 2 home runs tonight, numbers 56 and 57, and the crowd on their feet for Mark McGwire tonight. And the Redbirds win the ball game 7-1. The Cardinals have won 3 in a row. 7-1 tonight behind Matt Morris, who is terrific. He's 5-4. But the reason that this night was so special, Mark McGwire in the 7th inning, he was already 1 for 3, but people came, you were watching, we were watching for him to hit number 56, and he did it. 450 feet. The dead center field, number 56 tying Hack Wilson. And then 1 inning later, number 57 in the 9th inning. It was gone. And it was a National League record, Al Hrabosky.
A record that was held since 1930 by Hack Wilson. And it is eclipsed right here tonight as we've seen history. So bonus coverage as Mark gets 2 home runs and 2 curtain calls right here from South Florida.
Our final score tonight, 7-1. Join us tomorrow night for our next Cardinals telecast. You've been watching the Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest, your regional home of Fox Sports Net. Coming up after the break, we'll take you to the Fox Network Center for Fox Sports News Prime Time. For Al Hrabosky, I'm Bob Ramsey. We'll see you tomorrow.